If you expect a living space behind this door, you're mistaken. Cattle actually live here, on the 5th floor of a building. Okay, let's start with a few key facts. In the waste collectors district, an estimated 60,000 to 100,000 people live here. More than 80% of Cairo's waste has been recycled here by families for decades. The performance-based recycling system is one of the most effective systems in the entire world. Living and waste sorting happen just right next to each other. To just better understand the lives of the residents, especially the women who mainly sort the waste, I just asked two women if I could join and help them sort the waste. As is typical for Egyptian hospitality, they immediately offered me tea.
They invited me to sit with them and separate the waste myself. I was wearing gloves, but they were not. I realized that for me, this was an experience, but for them, it is everyday life. That makes you reflect.
The district looks similar to other parts of Cairo, but with one big difference. There's waste everywhere, like inside the houses, on top of the houses, in front of the houses, just waste wherever you can see. But there are also basic structures, just like food stalls, mini markets, schools, and food shops. And of course, that's not surprising. People have been living here for generations. Then we met a young resident whose family specializes in plastic.
Did you grow up here? This is what you've been doing all your life?
He showed us his workshop and just explained everything in detail. Plastic is sorted by type, quality, and also color. Each family has its own specializations and tasks. His family has worked with waste since his father's generation. They just collect waste in Cairo for a small fee and process it here. He earns money by selling processed plastic per kilogram to larger countries. He showed us a sack of about 80 kilograms of material. That would be around 3,200 Egyptian pounds, roughly 50 bucks. His income depends on many factors, but he told us that his family gets by well. The average yearly income here is estimated from $1,500 to $3,000. He also showed us different steps of the process, like cutting and shredding plastic. Of course, I had to ask him if he ever had any injuries or knew of any bigger accidents, but he said no.
لا هو ما حصل.
Shortly after, he showed us a machine, a press. We were surprised how casually people work near such machines. In Europe or the US, this would be unthinkable due to strict safety rules. He also showed us a machine that processes shredded plastic further. First into a soft plastic mass, then into small pellets. The room was not closed and you could clearly see small particles in the air. And I could see the ceiling and objects were covered with a small layer of dust. Right next to this, there was livestock farming. Very surprising. You can probably see that on my face. He explained that the pork is either consumed by the families or just sold to restaurants and hotels. Organic waste is used as animal food. Another neighbor proudly showed us his animals too.
I've just been shown how the waste is sorted and processed here. How plastic, paper, metal and organic waste are separated by hand. People recycle up to 80% of the waste they collect, which is way more than modern cities achieve. What I found out is the government of Egypt depends on the people who do this recycling. Entire families just specialize in certain materials. What looks like chaos from the outside is actually a highly organized system.
A resident took us on a short drive after collecting waste of the districts. I gotta say, people were very open and seemed to be proud to show their work. We met a very lively woman who was born and raised here and also raised her children here.
Oh, I would love to see where she lives. Would you like to show us?
And her apartment was surprisingly cozy, and this is something that I would have never expected from the outside. The view from a high building was also very surprising. The rooftops are not only used to store waste, but also used as livestock.
Okay, so we actually got access to a rooftop where we have a perfect overview of how vast all of the city is and how big the garbage city is. And we can see that there's like trash in every single level of the buildings. They're like literally surrounded by trash. And then what I can also see a lot is like pig farms and cow farms and pigeon farms on the rooftop, but also downstairs.
In the end, I have to say, I was really impressed of what we saw. The people were incredibly friendly and open. They were just happy to talk to us, and they also seemed quite satisfied with their work. This is actually something that will stay with me. How cheerful and content people can be while working in waste. While in the Western countries, we complain about rain when going to work. I hope you enjoyed this video and hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye!